Hi everyone, I'm Gautam aka the Seeker of Wisdom. I'm a manifestation coach, and in this video we're going to be talking a little bit about reassurance and how you can get your reassurance despite doing all your routines. Now before I do so, I'd like to remind you guys I am available for coaching, so I offer hourly, monthly, email and DM coaching. The link will be in the description down below for an FAQ page where you guys will have all the answers you need, and thereafter you guys can reach out to me via Instagram or email for pricing information and to figure out what plans may be suitable for you. I also have a Facebook group where I upload resources from time to time, as well as you guys can ask me questions anonymously if you wish to do so. I also have a mailing list where I post articles from time to time, as well as my latest offers for coaching. And last but not least, I also have a Manifest Your SP course which has been revamped and it's up and running right now. Be sure to check out all the links in the description, guys. Everything is there. If you guys have any questions, email me or put it down in the comments below. I'll get back to it as soon as I can. Without further ado, guys, let's get to it. So this was a question that I had in my content suggestions form, and I thought it was really worth exploring and really worth answering in a video, of course. Is, well, how do I get my reassurance if I'm still doing my routines and everything, and I'm still not, like seeing anything, and I'm still kind of asking like, where is it? Like, how do I tackle that? Right? That was kind of the gist of it, and I thought that was a really good way to improve yourself. Like, those are the questions you should be asking if you are going to kind of bring yourself to the next level in your manifestation journey, in my opinion. So I asked myself that question too. I was like, what do you think? Right? Like that's the kind of mind voice that went on in my mind. So the answers that came to me was this, right? One, you may not be like assured 100% all the time that your desires are done, right? Like when you are manifesting something, simply due to the fact that it's not been hardened into fact yet in your reality, you will not believe it 100%. Like even after it happens, like what Neville says this too, like you will like refuse to believe, like a part of you will refuse to believe that this was actually a manifestation of yours. Like you would kind of cite the logical flow of events that happened, right? So you will not even, like, even after it happens, you will not 100% believe it. So this is something that it's not about reaching a complete sense of assurance. I would say it's more about making this a dominant thing. So that's the thing that I really want to address firstly, is that you will not always be reassured 100%, right? It's more about this being a dominant feeling. And if you are doing your routines and if you're still feeling this, then one thing I will definitely say is take a look at your routines and look at the consistency of it. How often do you do it? And the other thing I want you guys to take a look at is this technique making you feel like your desires are a done deal, right? If you, let's say, visualize and you feel it real in your mind, then great. If you visualize and you feel like like, no, I still don't feel like my desires are done, right? And if you have been like going on with your routines for quite a while now, maybe another technique could help you or resonate with you more compared to the one that you are doing right now. And it varies from aspect to aspect, like different aspects, like like different techniques works for different aspect of our lives. So it varies from like aspect to aspect. So like ask yourself, okay, just because this worked for money, does it mean like for me, does it mean it works for SP, for example? And this is the question you guys have to like experiment and analyze and really kind of look at it. Like ask yourself, like, okay, is this really working for me here? Am I feeling it real by using this technique? If no, what can I do here? Right? So ask yourself if this is the technique that you want to carry on with to like live in the end, basically. Because if you're doing your techniques and if you're still feeling like, okay, where is it, then like maybe there's something that you need to change here, right? Especially if you're going on for months and months on end. So you need to look into that, if you will. So be sure to sit down, analyze it, reflect and think about it, right? The other thing I would say is that as you're going through this journey, right, and if you are asking yourself where is it, like ask yourself like, okay, do you not have faith, right? Because you could be doing everything well, and that faith could be the one that kind of messes it up for you, right? The faith in the unseen. essentially what it means is, okay, if I can see it in my mind, if I can think about it, it has to happen. So I'm just going to go until it shows up in my 3D, right? And a lot of it has to do with not being affected by whatever you see or you don't see in the 3D, right? So it's like wearing, blinders and walking until you reach your end destination. And I know, like, it may not be the easiest thing, but at some point you just have to tell yourself, okay, like, questioning isn't helping me anymore, and you have to recognize that, and you just have to keep going, right? And I know it's not the answer that many people would like to hear, but if you're doing everything right, if you feel like you're doing every single step right, the only thing that's left to do is just to go by your life and let the bridge of incidents unfold. And remind yourself that every step that I take, however unlikely it may seem, is still leading me towards the fulfillment of my desire, and I believe it wholeheartedly. Like when I went through a lot of my journeys, I had no idea that, okay, this was going to lead to that, like, for example, like when I, the way I got my phone, for example, I didn't know, like, what path I was going to take, right? I had to, end up changing my number and so on, at one point my phone number, and there was a lot of things that happened, but every single event led me to the fulfillment of my desire for me getting this phone that I'm making this video with right now. And I didn't foresee, okay, this event is going to lead to that, but it did. So at the end of the day, all you have to do is just keep that faith and keep going, and it has to happen, right? So there's that. And another thing that I would definitely do is, one reason why people are asking where is it often despite doing the techniques is simply because they are getting bored. Because chances are they are just focusing on just that manifestation itself. They are not doing anything else but just, devoting entire attention to that aspect. Sometimes what it does is that, one, because you have nothing else to focus on, one, you're putting pressure on yourself, and two, you're getting bored. And what happens when you're bored, right? Like, your mind starts to fill that void up with things to, so that you are, like, always occupied in one way or another. So your mind always fills up with things to do, so that, you have something to do. Otherwise, you're bored, basically, right? So to tackle this, what I would say is, have 2 to 3 desires at least, so that you have something to work on. Like, you can rotate, like, okay, if you're bored about affirming for this, like maybe finance, you can do a visualizing scene for SP, for example, and then you can think about your luxury mansion or car, for example. Rotate, basically. So that's one way you can go about it, right? Have multiple desires, and like, do techniques for one, do another, throughout the day, kind of mix it up, right? Like, don't just be so fixed on one desire, so that way you're not asking where is it. Secondly, work on yourself, work on your hobbies, right? Once you're done with your manifestation routine for the day, be it affirmation, scripting, visualizing, whatsoever, focus on your day. Like, focus on your hobbies, whatever extra activity that you may have, or focus on the present moment. If you're working, for example, focus on the present moment. Focus on making the most out of the day, right? Try to, live the most that you can within every single second of life, right? And make the most out of every single second. And what this does is to put you in that present moment, and to, like, go with the flow. And before you know it, that's when, your desires come to you. Because since you're taking such an hands-off approach to everything, that's when everything just clicks, right? Because you have surrendered to your higher self for it to sort everything out for you. Even though that may not be how you perceive it, that's how things happen, right? When you're focusing on the present moment, when you are, like, going by life, things just click, because you have surrendered everything to your higher self. So these are ways you can cope with the idea of where is it, despite the fact that, if you are doing routines and if you still feel like, okay, where is it here yet, and so on, these are ways you can cope with it, right? So guys, we have come to this end of this video. If this video resonated with you, be sure to drop a like and comment if you guys have any questions. Be sure to subscribe, as it goes a long way for me, guys. And of course, turn on your bell notification so that you guys will know when I upload a new video every single week. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and happy manifesting. Peace.